Jules, you were reporting yesterday that Harry Kane's told Bayern he wants to go to Germany.
Yeah, he's quite keen on the move if the move could happen. I think the most important is not so much, we kind of knew that he was open to pretty much everything right now, Harry Kane, and rightly so. He's got every door open, staying but not renewing. There's an offer on the table for him to renew. Right now, that's not in his mind. Leaving, I think ideally maybe he would have liked to stay in England, but going to Bayern, I think is very appealing to him, like it would be very appealing to a lot of players. He met with Thomas Tuchel, we've explained that 2 days ago on the show. The contact was really good between Tuchel and Kane. The thing is, Bayern need to up their offer, make a third offer that is better than the second one that was rejected at 80 million euros. And right now, I think they're considering it. They thought that the 80 million euro was a fair one, but they know that if they really want Kane, they would have to go a bit higher, maybe around the 90, 95 million euros plus some bonuses to get close to the 100 million pound that Daniel Levy wants for Kane. But again, I think the positive in there is that the contact is still there between the two clubs, between Bayern and the Kane clan, the Kane family, and that's it. As long as the ball is rolling, anything can happen, especially if Bayern decide to finally make that third bid.
What's going to happen, Mark?
I mean, I don't even know Harry Kane knows. It's one of those situations where it will come down to money. It'll come down to Daniel Levy thinking, can I keep Harry Kane for a year, risk losing him for nothing in 12 months' time on the basis that he might get Tottenham into the Champions League? But, you know, there will come a point when £80 million, £90 million, an offer comes and it's too good for Tottenham to turn down. And what we really need now, you know, Harry Kane's back in training. We need Harry Kane to say something. I think he probably owes it to the fans, actually. The fans are waiting day after day to find out what's happening. He can kill it stone dead. He can say, I'm staying, or he can say, you know, I want to move on now. It's time to move on. I've given everything I can. I want to win some trophies. But he's not said anything yet. Now, people might say that weakens his negotiating position, but I just think we need some clarity. And I think, you know, I get the impression that Bayern are doing the job for a lot of clubs that might be interested in Kane if they get an inkling that Tottenham will sell. I think Man United would look at it again if they felt they could, if Bayern could lay a benchmark down for a fee. I know United haven't got the money right now, but they will look to sell players and move money around, and who knows what's happening with the takeover. I mean, that might get done sometime this year, who knows. You know, Real Madrid, they need a forward as well. So there are clubs that are circling right now, PSG even, if they lose Mbappe. There are clubs that are circling that could do the deal, but I think they're letting Bayern do the running. And if Kane gives an indication he wants to leave, or if Tottenham give an indication they're prepared to accept an offer from Bayern, then I think it would, you know, open the door for other clubs to come in. But right now, you know, I think Tottenham go to Australia at the weekend on tour. So if Kane's in Australia, that takes him to the side of the world. It makes it harder for deals to get done. So it's going to drag on for weeks and weeks.
Starting out, and your best player, the face of the club, is 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Not ideal.
Not ideal scenario if you're a supporter. Not an ideal scenario if you're on the board or you own the club. But I tell you what, this guy could not have said anything that was so perfect than what he just said. I mean, completely taking you away from the whole saga of Kane and putting it on to what he's trying to bring to the club. I mean, that is just... I mean, as a PR job, he said exactly the right words in the right way. And he's just basically telling you, I'm building a team here. I'm not basing it on individuals. I'm basing it on a concept, a way of playing, the tactics, the system, all of that. He stayed all the way away from Harry Kane and money and everything else and got it absolutely spot on.
Practically, though, how does he prepare in pre-season? Because obviously there's a chance Kane comes back, but if not, do you go through your pre-season preparing for life without Harry Kane? I mean, kind of in that last quote, he says...
Absolutely.
Beyond individuals. Is he telling us something there?
Absolutely. He's telling you that if Harry Kane's there, they're going to play a certain way so that whoever is centre forward, if it's Harry Kane, is going to get service and is going to get delivery. And whoever plays in the position of the so-called number 9, this is the job that he will do. And actually, if you think about it, it's complete and utter common sense. Because if everybody knows how they want the centre forward to play, from the back players to the middle players to the wide players, then if for some strange reason, because it will be a surprise, if Harry Kane goes, then they know what their job is, even though it's not going to be Kane on the back of the jersey.
Sure, but whoever
it's a common sense. It's an absolutely common sense way to do the job.
But whoever you're going to bring in is not going to be Harry Kane. They're probably going to play differently. Don't you not need to start preparing for that?
Listen, football's been going for how many years?
A long time.
And every single time a
Since you
Harry
started.
Kane or a Keegan or a Dalglish or a Rush or Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, Messi, there's always another player coming along who's not the same, who's different, but will get the job done. And that is exactly how football survives. Because there's always somebody else coming along that we never know is coming. And again, if you get a good coach who puts a team together, a team, not a bunch of not individual stars or anything like that, a team, then you'll get some sort of success.
400. This is supposedly the new deal Spurs have offered, right? So this is the problem Spurs have got. And as you quite rightly said earlier on when we were chatting about it, this is the first time in 4 years Harry Kane has held all the cards. So he could either leave for free at the end of the season and probably demand that kind of money at a much bigger club, right? Because there's no fee. There's no fee.
Yes.
Or he can take that money a year early, stay at Spurs, and have less chance of winning Silverware than he would do if he went to one of those big clubs. I mean, that's a fact. I'm not naming the clubs.
No, you're right. But, Spurs, there's only so many ways this can play out, right? So if Harry Kane...
There's two ways.
Well, it depends depends. It's all down to Harry Kane now, I feel, right? So he's got this meeting with Postecoglou, right? I don't know what Postecoglou is going to say to him that's going to make his change his mind, in all honesty. Harry Kane has been at Spurs long enough to know he's not going to sit down with Postecoglou, I don't think, and go, oh my God, he's the second coming. This guy's going to win. I don't think that conversation is going to take place. I like what I hear from Postecoglou. I think he is going to take Spurs in a different direction that they've absolutely needed for years. That the appointment of some of their managers have been, quite frankly, appalling. The Jose one, didn't get it. Conte, I was worried, but you knew what you're going to get in bed with Conte. I mean, it played out beautifully. Harry Kane now is in control of his own destiny. He's got two choices. Spurs want him to stay. Levy wants him to stay. So is he going to let him go for a free next year? Which, if Harry Kane says he's not signed that contract, that's the Mason Mount situation at Chelsea. I'm not signing a new contract. I want to leave. Well, you've got to sell him now then. You're going to lose. Either you get your money now, and if you're Postecoglou, you don't want this, and I said this last, you don't want this circus, because all that's going to happen is that every question is going to be about Harry Kane. Is he staying? Is he not? Listen to us, we're talking. It's all over the back pages. Bayern Munich clearly want him. I think it plays into Harry Kane's hands, actually, that Bayern Munich do want him. I don't know how keen he is. It wouldn't surprise me if Spurs say, look, 5-year contract. That's what he's going to ask.
5?
Well, that's what he's going to want. You want me to stay?
He's 30 at the end of this month.
Right, 5-year contract, 500 grand a week. So what's that worth over that? 125 grand, 125 million. Right?
Is it?
I'm not good.
Well, a million a week. A million a week would be 52 million a year. So it's half of that. 25 million a year. 125 million.
125 million, right? Yeah. Over that contract, right? So they've got him for 5 years. They know what they've got. So he's there. Postecoglou can move forward knowing the player he's got, one of the best, if not, I think he's in the top 2 or 3 strikers of the world, right? You're buying goals. You're buying 25 goals a season with him, right? That's what you're paying him for.
Yeah.
If he's going to decide to leave next season, I would, if I was Spurs, I'd cut my losses.
They have to.
I would sell him. I would move him on. I would say.
Do you think it's good business for Spurs to pay him £500,000 a week?
I think that's good. I think that works for everyone. You know what you get. You're buying 25 goals a season in the Premier League. You're getting that every season,
okay,
guaranteed.
If you were him, in this position, what would you do?
That's impossible to answer, mate.
No, it's not.
No, it is because
it's an easy decision.
Because
you either stay for.
Well, here's the scenario. So he's on 200 grand a week now.